Sleep deprivation has become one of the most pervasive health problems. I've talked about it a lot right here on New Mexico Style, and while many adults might need at least 8 hours of sleep a night, few actually get it, and I say that from experience. Dr. Alan Miner of the Health Quest Chiropractic Team says he may have just the solution for your sleep problems. Oh, thank God. And you won't have to count sheep. I am just counting them over and over and over.
Doesn't work either, does it?
No.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Good to have you.
It's great to be here.
You know, we talk about this a lot, and I think the first question we want to address is what causes our inability to fall asleep or to stay asleep, because I think that's sometimes even a bigger issue.
We're going to talk about that today.
Okay.
The main thing I want to get across is sleep is a very chemical thing. And so if your brain chemistry is functioning properly, you'll fall to sleep easily, and you'll get into those deeper stages of REM sleep,
right,
where all the good benefits of sleep and healing and certain hormones are produced when we're in that deep state of sleep. So chemistry is really the key.
Well, what's actually considered a good night's sleep, quote unquote?
Well, most experts say 7 to 8 hours is the range. Now, people who are in really incredible health, great shape,
yes,
a lot of times can get by with 6 hours, but when you wake up in the morning, you should be ready to go. If you're wanting to hit the snooze alarm, a lot of times either you haven't had enough sleep, or that happens too when you get too much sleep.
Right.
You get really groggy and it's hard to get going.
You know, that happens a lot on weekends when I don't set my alarm and I sleep all day. I'm more exhausted at night, which doesn't even seem to make sense.
Yeah, well, our bodies are very rhythmic, and so when you get out of a rhythm, you pay the price for it.
Well, if you could give us a few facts about sleep. I mean, there's so many myths out there. What would you say fact-wise that we should be aware of?
Certainly, there's a handful of things. The first is that a typical person will spend 10 of the next 30 days asleep. So that's a third of your life.
Oh my gosh.
Think about that. Of the next month, 10 of those days you're sleeping. So it's an important thing. We need to think about it and invest in our sleep. Sleep's important to your body's repair process. That's when your body, it's your downtime. It's when your body goes through and can repair cells and repair damage that might have happened during the day. Speaking
of repairing cells, I just want to interrupt you real quickly. A lot of times when I've said that when I wasn't losing weight, people were saying maybe you're not getting enough sleep. Is it true that you really that it can affect your weight as well?
Most definitely. There's two hormones, ghrelin and leptin are what they are, and they relate to our body's ability to cope with stress and our body's ability to lose weight. And so when we aren't sleeping properly, our body's not making those hormones. When you get enough sleep, we find people lose weight easier. The final thing for sleep facts is the short sleep duration that we were just talking about. It cuts ghrelin and leptin in half, and your body's not going to benefit, and so then it's harder to lose weight, and you're wondering why is the weight not coming off. Part of that stress hormone, particularly males, when we hold our weight around our gut, or women around the hips,
the tires,
a lot of times that tells us there's adrenal fatigue. A person's adrenaline is high. Again, that is related to sleep habits, and your sleep can change your body chemistry, can alter chemistry so that your body's functioning better.
It's so interesting to me. I mean, I guess one of the things I always wonder is what are some of the easier things, because you know, like I said, I have a really hard time, not because I'm not tired, just because I can't shut down. So what are some things that people can easily do to implement the ways that they can improve their sleep each night?
Definitely. Well, there's a handful of things that we can do. First is turn off all screens 1 hour before bed. This is huge, Nikki. I mean, how many times we're in front of computers, we're in front of TVs, and that affects our body. That affects brain chemistry as well. And most people, you know, even people maybe used to read a book, now they're reading an iPad before bed. That changes your body chemistry, and you can't fall into that deep state of sleep as easily.
Yeah, I have to stop watching Jersey Shore at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, you got to get it on a little bit earlier. There's a couple other things as well that relate to helping you get a good night's sleep, and one of those is lighting as well. A lot of us have fluorescent lights in our home. You want to start to dim the lights earlier, and the analogy I'll use here, if anybody's ever been camping, then think of what happens pretty quickly, if not the first night, by the second night. As soon as the sun goes down, you're ready for bed, and you get up so much earlier when the sun is coming up, and that's because our body is very rhythmic. They talk about circadian rhythms, and so you can duplicate that in your home. Most of us have this artificial lighting, and again, it alters the natural rhythm of our body. It alters our brain chemistry, so when it comes time for sleep, we don't get into that deep state of sleep the way we're supposed to.
I mean, there's even night lights. I have one night light I call it the disco night light because it flashes different colors, and it's great when you're trying to navigate for some water in the middle of the night, but it's not so great when you're trying to sleep.
No, and that's
Studio 54 in the bedroom.
It's a club. That's the other point too, is if you have to get up in the middle of the night, you want to keep the lights as absolutely dim as possible, because when you get up and that light comes on, it starts to change our body chemistry and we start to wake up.
Interesting.
Also, we want to sleep in complete darkness. You know, even seeing an alarm clock will keep our body from going in a deeper state of sleep. You want to get rid of all the cell phones and computers that are near your head buzzing around.
Yeah.
The blinds should be totally drawn. You want to sleep in a pitch black environment. That'll make a huge difference in your sleep.
But does it make it harder to wake up?
No, I mean, you still can have an alarm clock over there.
Okay.
But again, if you got into the deeper state of sleep, your body will be rested, and you should pop up.
That's a great point. And you also, there was one more as well that you were mentioning, that you were going to mention, one fourth thing.
I don't remember what it was.
Well, yes, it was about going to the bathroom. I was saying when you get up in the middle of the night for water or whatever, you want to make sure with the lights. So, I mean, what do? Do you just keep a light as far away from the actual bedroom itself?
You do, and of course we want to be careful. We don't want somebody to have a fall or a trip in the middle of the night because the room's pitch black. However, it is important that you don't flip on the lights, because you'll throw out that chemistry that your body was building up for sleep, and now all of a sudden you find you got up, you can't get back to sleep, and then it's 1 in the morning and you're wide awake, and
good tip.
And then you're paying the price the next day.
So we've got all the lights covered, we've got the sounds and the screens, but what about the bed itself? I mean, I always wonder, does the brand of mattress that you sleep on actually matter as far as the type of sleep that you're going to get? Yeah,
definitely. Mattress matters, although not so much because of the brand. We're not giving a plug to any specific company. The important thing is this, that your spine's supported when you're asleep. If you're sleeping on a pillow that's too high or too low, your neck is bending, that's putting stress on the brainstem, and that affects your brain chemistry. And if you've got an older mattress and your hips or your shoulders are sinking in, and so your spine's in this curved position, that can really affect you as well. So it's important that your spine stays supported. We advocate the use of cervical pillows. It's got the little bump to support your neck. If you're sleeping on your back, which is the best position to sleep in.
Is it really?
Yeah, the worst position's your stomach. And imagine, let me see your wrist. I'll show you this. If your wrist was cocked all night, imagine what you'd wake up in the morning feeling like. Well, when you're on your stomach with your head turned all night, it's putting that kind of stress into your neck, into the brain stem. It affects your brain chemistry, and a lot of neck problems, you know, you don't stay in one position for 6-7 hours oftentimes, but in sleep you do. And so a lot of times we find people's spinal problems are related back to their sleep patterns.
Great advice. I mean, this is your specialty, and you actually have a lot of success at Health Quest helping people with their sleep problems through different things, chiropractic care being the main one. So tell us how it actually works.
Definitely. Well, your body, we've been talking about brain chemistry this whole show. Brain chemistry is controlled by your body's central nerve system. And so your brain stem and spinal cord are what are creating the hormones that allow you to get into a deeper state of sleep. What's epidemic today is people have this forward head posture. We call it text neck. We've lost the arc in the neck, which ends up putting stress in the brainstem and affecting brain chemistry. And so one of the first things we often hear reported after people begin getting adjusted regularly is their brain chemistry changes. And because your chemistry is controlled by your nerve system, and so that's probably the easiest fix for this, or way to quickly see change in your sleep, is to simply get adjusted, get your spine realigned, and you're going to find that your brain's able to get into those deeper stages of sleep a lot easier.
And what's so great is that you're offering a $99 spinal checkup. So tell everybody what that actually includes.
Yeah, we are. That includes everything that we do in our office. Your first visit, $99, includes your x-rays, which if you have not had a spinal checkup, we really suggest everybody needs to get a baseline for the health of their spine. It includes a neurological scan where we do surface thermography and surface EMG, and doctor consultation. And we can take a look, and if your spine's in good health, we can report the good news. And if there's challenges, then we'll make a recommendation for you to improve your health and well-being.
That's so great that you're doing that. And of course, you want to remind everybody to mention New Mexico Style when you call the office. Let them know that you saw Dr. Miner on television, 505-343-6120.
Definitely. And our staff is out of the office Tuesday morning, so if anybody does call from the show this morning, just leave a voicemail and my team will get back to you this afternoon.
Thank you, Dr. Miner. That's so good. I'm going to try to get a good night's sleep tonight, I promise. And still ahead, we'll tell you which Albuquerque hotel got top honors as one of the best in the nation.